To be able to help children and their education, we need to have a deep understanding of habits that can impact their growth and development. This report aims to provide insight and ideas about how to guide young children, establish their behavior, and cultivate good habits. Hello, I am Maricon R. Picasso, and I'm going to discuss about Chapter 28, Habits, Meaning, Nature, and Development. Meaning of habit. What is habit? A habit which can be part of any activity, ranging from eating and sleeping to thinking and reacting, is developed through reinforcement and repetition. The Oxford Dictionary of English defines habit as a settled or regular tendency or practice, especially one that is hard to give up, and also an automatic reaction to a specific situation. From the viewpoint of psychologists, habit is understood as a more or less fixed way of thinking, willing or feeling acquired through previous repetition of mental experience. Andros, 1903, page 1. As Ronis and others, 1989, mentioned, habits are the result of automatic cognitive processes developed by extensive repetition, so well learned that they do not require conscious effort. Page 219. Habit is a simple form of learning, a change of behavior with experience. It is defined as an automatic response to a specific situation acquired normally as a result of repetition and learning. When behavior is developed to the extent that is highly automatic, it is called habit. Generally, habit does not require our conscious attention. Habits play important role in our daily life. All of us acquire different habits. They are the part of our life. Habits may be good or bad. Hardworking, writing, reading, regular exercise, meditation, etc. are examples of good habits. Alcoholism, drug addiction, lethargy, procrastination, telling lies, dishonesty, stealing, deceiving others, escapism, etc. are examples of bad habits. Nature of habits. Habit formation may be explained in two terms, physiological and psychological. Physiological, dahil po paulit-ulit na ginagawa natin ang isang bagay, nasasanay po yung katawan natin doon. Physiological o physical na aspeto na isa sa ulo po ng physical na katawan. The physiological basis is related to our nervous system. According to this, when an act is repeated more than one times, a clear nervous connection is formed, leading to a pathway. This makes most shifting to nerve energy, maybe from sensory to motor. According to Hall, when a stimulus is repeated and the response is elicited, the connection becomes strengthened. Eventually, it brings about an organization in the nervous system known as habit, otherwise called learning. Psychological. The psychological theories explain that habits are acquired dispositions According to this theories, any learning process or experience gained by an individual is retained. When this learning experience is repeated, it is firmly retained. This ability to retain helps us to get it strengthened and becomes a habit. Ito po yung mga naipon natin na pananaw sa buhay, experience at mga values, kaugalian na nakikita natin sa paligid. Nasanay po tayo habang tumatagal. Types of habits. Habits are divided into 3 types depending upon the nature of activities. Intellectual habits. Intellectual habits relate to psychological process requiring our intellectual abilities such as good observation, accurate perception, logical thinking, using of reasoning ability before taking decisions and testing conclusions, etc. Motor habits. Motor habits refer to muscular activities of an individual. These are the habits related to our physical actions such as standing, sitting, running, walking, doing exercise, maintaining particular postures of body, etc. Habits of character. We express some of our characters in the form of habits. For example, helping others who are in need, trusting people, being honest, talking in a friendly way, time management, hardworking, keeping our dress clean and tidy, etc. These habits will have essence of feelings and emotions. Hence, these are also called as emotional habits. Habits of character. These habits will have essence of feelings and emotions. Hence, they are also called as emotional habits. Characteristics of habits. Characteristics of habits. Uniformity. Habit brings uniformity in the activities of an individual. There is a specific habit in our mode of talking, sleeping, walking, and other activities. Facility. There is a facility in the performance of an activity if it is due to some habit. In the beginning, it is difficult to ride a bicycle, but after the formation of habit, it becomes quite easy. Characteristics of habits. Interest. The basis of a habit is interest. At the beginning of schooling, the child runs away from the school, but after the formation of habit, going to school becomes interesting to him. Independence of attention. Due to our habit, we do many things which require no attention at all. Our way of walking po or talking is most of the time hindi kailangan ng focus kasi kabisado na natin ito. Role of habits. Habit is a great means of our progress in educational situation. It is easy to learn reading and writing during childhood, but learning is very difficult during adulthood or old age. Habit strengthens learning activities. Many great things in the world have been achieved through habits. During early years po, A child learns alphabets due to habits. At a later period, different hard learning tasks can be overcome by a child through habits. Development. The acquisition of knowledge. An intrinsic and active desire to understand their environment, to be in active control of their own experiences, and to make relationship with other children and adults leads to an amassing of knowledge about the causes and effects of what is perceived around them. Sa acquisition of knowledge po, nagsisimula ang development ng habits. Dito na po, nag-o-observe ang bata sa paligid niya. Kung paano ba makikipagkapwa, paano ba itanghal o gawin ang isang aktibidad. Thus, young children's fundamental assumptions about the structure of their world and about the underlying nature of its categories crucially depend on their experiences. Imitation. Modeling of behaviors by adults is powerful means of supporting learning in children. Imitation ika nga nila. Kung anong nakikita sa matatanda ay ginagawa rin ng mga bata. Kaya mahalaga po na mag-set tayo ng good example sa kanila. Statistical or inductive learning. Inductive learning underpins the way in which the human visual and auditory systems develop. Kirkham, Schimber, and Johnson 2002, and so clearly forms the foundation of a very large part of human learning. Dito po yung nakikita o naririnig nila. Kaya mahalaga po as teacher, maging creative po tayo sa pagturo. Kaya mayroon po tayong mga audiovisual kasi mas appealing po yun sa kanila. Controlling cognitive processes. It is the development of basic executive functions which influence children's abilities to apply their knowledge in the various situations, to control their cognitive, emotional, and motivational processes, and to learn intentionally. Dito na po nade-develop yung awareness nila to perform. Yung mga nakasanayan at natutuhan ay mai-apply po nila sa sarili or in any other kind of situation. When a child is faced by a new task or problem, attempts to different at strategies or ways of proceeding, and monitors how well they are going to in order to complete or solve it. This is regarded as meta-cognitive experience. Metacognition. Children learn but they also need to learn about their learning. Metacognition is the word used to describe this ability, the capacity to monitor, assess, control, and change how one thinks and learns. It accounts for how young children learn language with such ease and speed, how they form concepts and detect categories from their experience, and how they seem so ready and able to understand causal relationship between events. They start to apply the patterns identified and learn in the first context to make sense of a new experience or new information related to a separate context. Formation of good habits. William James, the famous American psychologist, has suggested the following measures of habit formation. Children's potential for learning is extraordinary. What develops through the early years of learning is the child's knowledge base. Their metacognition, example, their awareness of and the ability to control their own cognitive activity and their abilities to self-regulate, to cultivate them. Make a good start. Good beginning is half done is a premise. Accordingly, to learn a habit, we must make a good start. We should have a strong motivation and determination of mind. We should not have oscillation of mind. In contemporary developmental psychology, children's learning is seen as being limited only by their lack of experience and accumulated knowledge. So, there must be constant application. And so, keep regular practice. It is essential to practice the new habit regularly until it becomes a routine in our life. Postponement or interruption should be avoided because it weakens our habit formation. New environments may pose challenges in that a young child's lack of experience make it difficult for them to see the relevance and priorities of a situation and to work out the best way to proceed. So, choose favorable environment. Good habit formation depends upon the encouraging atmosphere also. As the child interacts within their environment and their daily lives, they observe dynamic interactions between people and objects, and their brains attempt to make meaning of it all. We need to give them hope and motivation. They need to know that it is important. So do not stop till the goal is achieved. Once a habit is formed, it is to be strengthened. Hence, it should be continued until it is firmly rooted. So, for us teachers, we have a big role sa pagtulong sa kanila na makabuo ng mga magagandang habits sa studying. So, cultivating students' good habits for learning is important. Learning involves a persistent and stable change in what a person knows or does. Learning habits exercise significant influences over students' learning and development. Growing self-awareness in the child leads to self-regulation, the ability to take increased control of their own mental processing, including their thinking, remembering, and problem-solving. These processes are relevant and fundamental to the whole range of the child's development, including their emotional and social abilities and behaviors. Self-awareness po, malalaman nila ang kahalagahan ng consistency na kapag paulit-ulit po nating ginagawa o pinag-aaralan, namamaster na po natin. Makakatulong sa growth at development kung magpapatuloy ang progress. The influential Chinese author and educator Ye-Sheng Tao stated, "What is education? To answer it in a simple way, we just need one statement: nurturing good habits." Thank you, thank you, thank you.